Hello everyone, Sire here. Thank you so much for joining me. It has been a while since I created my last video. It's just time has been flying by. Lots to do. With that being said, I think I'm going to kind of change how I do my videos. I used to try to focus on creating new stuff, using new things, new toys. But I kind of want to go back to the way I originally wanted my YouTube channel, and that was just to play and show my creativity or show my thought processes. So hopefully that works for you and you enjoy what I create. Okay, I don't know if you remember, but I did make a Black Friday purchase and I did create a video on that, and this particular item was in it. I've never used these before. They're called design adhesives, and it's like a transfer sheet. I am going to use this blue glitter, opaque fine glitter that came in this box, this mystery box, and some distressed glitter that I have in my stash. And the reason that I want to do this is purely for playing around and see what would happen. I kind of wanted the texture of that glitter rock, but with the color of blue. So I'm just going to mix those two colors together, and then I'm going to be using that to adhere to these design adhesives. And the one that I decided to pick is the butterfly one. I did get another one because I did buy two mystery boxes for Black Friday, and I did get two, I believe. But this one is the butterfly one. I thought it was really cute, and I was really interested in seeing how this blue glitter with that rock, I think it's called rock glitter. Yeah, rock candy distressed glitter. See how it worked. I love using that for snow, like winter backgrounds. I love that chunkiness. It's really nice. Okay, so you can kind of see the design there. And it's the butterfly. It has like a blue tinge almost. But be very careful that you don't touch anything until you really place it down correctly, because if you notice, I accidentally hit the paper when I was placing it down, and that took some of the adhesive right off the bat. There's no forgiveness really once it touches paper. So I should have used a background. I just didn't want to get this stuck to my mat, behind the green mat, so I'm not taking the whole release paper off. And then I'm just going to press this down. I'm trying to get a good coverage to make sure it doesn't lift back up when I pull. But you do need to give it some good pressure, because I did try to release it and it was still sticking a bit, and I didn't want to force it. So I'm just going to put it back down and just trying to smooth it out again, making sure that there is nothing missing. I did notice that when it was done, that some of the finer details, like the little mini dots, did lift. So I don't know if there's a tool you can use, like a brayer type tool, where you just press everything smoothly. But in the end, it's okay. No one's really going to notice unless you really look up close. And so there you go. You can kind of see that bluish green butterflies shining on the card, so you can kind of see how it transferred. It actually looks much better on camera. When I was actually working on it, I couldn't see it. So I'm just going to pour this glitter. You can't really see that rock candy glitter. It looks all blue, but you'll notice it when it's done, that it's not a solid blue, and that's because in between is that rock candy. It's much chunkier, so it's not going to give you that really strong, in my opinion, opaque blue glitter. So that is what will happen if you mix the two together. I honestly wasn't thinking anything. I guess this is exactly what I should have expected. I just wanted to play and see what would happen. I am going to trim this card down. I'm just going to use this paper as an accent piece. I was going to originally have it as the main card, so just glue that to the base. But instead, I'm just going to trim that down and add some pattern paper to it. Absolutely love that paper trimmer. I'm so glad I got it. It's just nice and compact, and it works really well. Okay, I decided that I'm going to get some distress inks. Actually, sorry, not distress inks. These are my Pink Fresh inks. And those are two of the lighter blues that I have. I'm trying to think of what they're called. I have I have it right here beside me. I just need to look through it. I believe it's sky blue, and I'll use probably a darker either storm or sea blue. I can't remember which one it is. And I'm just going to go around the edge just to give it a little bit of definition. And the reason I did this is because I wasn't certain if I wanted to use a matte layer of cardstock behind it. You can kind of see the blue scraps beside me, or on the right there. And that's what I planned on using for the background. And then as I was thinking, I'm like, well, maybe I don't want to do that. So I decided to use these color inks. For the darker color, I'm just making just the edge, and that creates a nice, like almost like an eyeliner color. Whereas with the lighter one, I brushed it more in towards the paper, like creating more of a shadow. I did not want to do that with the darker color. It's just a technique I like to play around with. So to repeat that, I pretty much take the lighter color and go around the whole card and almost and spread it on the paper. Whereas with the darker color, I almost stick to just the trim, just the edge of it. And you can kind of see it there, how it looks like it has like a really dark line around the whole thing. Okay, so I took a piece of some scrap pattern paper that I had. I actually believe this was a Valentine's collection. It just happened to have this black and white, well, it's almost like charcoal and white stripes. So I decided to use it for this card, and I matted it with a piece of blue cardstock that I have in my stash. I decided that I'll just go ahead and add it. I realized that I do like it better with the matte, and it's not a big deal that I have inked up that butterfly piece, because it just makes it so that the white is not so strong. For the sentiment, I am going to use a stamp that I got. I believe it's from one of the Scrapping for Less card kits, and it says "Missing You" in a nice little script font there. I'm going to use some VersaFine Mark ink just to heat emboss this in white. As you may know, I do love my white on black. It's just a really awesome combination. And sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes the black doesn't work on a card. But because I do have a black and white, or a charcoal and white background, it shouldn't be too bad. It shouldn't stand out in a negative way, let's say. Now I did heat emboss this on a pretty large scrappy piece of black cardstock, so I'm going to trim that down, and I'm just going to freehand it. I'm not too worried about it being misaligned or anything. Just going to slowly just trim some pieces until it looks good, mainly because for this particular font, that G and the Y go pretty low. So it does kind of look weird sometimes when the padding on the top is much less than the padding on the bottom. And that's just because of that G and Y. So you just got to be a little careful. So you just trim a little bit away until your eye seems pleased with it. And of course, then I'm going to fishtail that, and that's what I'm going to, or I'm going to fishtail that and then glue that down when it's done. Now I'm just going to glue these pieces together, so the mattes to the butterfly layer. I'm very lucky actually to have scrap paper that matches this blue pretty well. I think if I did not add that rock candy glitter, because it's white, that maybe the glitter would have been too dark and not match this paper. So the combination really worked well. Normally that doesn't happen. Normally my color cardstock doesn't match that well, but I'm pretty happy with this one. I was pretty excited when I realized it looked pretty good. And I'm just going to glue that down. Okay. Just making sure that I actually glued it to the right side. Sometimes I forget to check. In this case, I actually did as well, but luckily I did glue it down the right way. And then I'm just going to glue this sentiment down, missing you, and I'm going to have that right on the pattern paper. I'm not going to go over into the gutter there like I did with the butterfly, how it covers the whole, both of the gutters, or padding, or whatever you want to call it, margin. But I'll leave that white space. I do have these enamel dots that I have in my collection. I got them last year on sale somewhere. And they're just very clear, flat, and glittery, like really flat. So I'm just going to put those around. You can't really see them too well on this angle, but they are there. They just kind of create a little bit of dimension, a little bit of difference. It doesn't really add that much to the card, in my opinion. We could have done without them, but I had them, so I thought I would just use them. I actually think I'm going a little crazy with them. I just kept adding them. I don't know if it's because I lost track of how many I put on because you couldn't really see them, or if I really actually wanted to put this many on. I don't know. There you go. And so that is this card. That is a very simple Missing You card, just to play around with some stuff I got from my Black Friday card kit. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope you enjoy it. And until the next time, take care. Bye.